Rome, around the year 250 AD. A soldier stands in line on payday. He's fought for the empire for years, bled for it, marched thousands of miles for it, and today he finally gets paid. A handful of silver coins drops into his palm. The denarius, the most trusted currency in the world. But there's a problem. These coins aren't really silver anymore. They're mostly copper, with a thin silver coating already wearing off. His father was paid in real silver. His grandfather in coins worth twice as much. The soldier doesn't know it yet, but he's holding the reason Rome is going to fall. Not barbarians, not plague, not bad emperors. Money. The most powerful empire in human history didn't get conquered. It inflated itself to death. And here's the uncomfortable part. The same thing is happening to the money in your pocket right now. This is the story of how Rome printed itself into oblivion and why history might be repeating itself. To understand how it all fell apart, you first have to understand how good the Romans were at money. We remember Rome for its legions and emperors, but the real engine of Roman power wasn't the sword. It was the economy behind it, the most sophisticated financial system the world had ever seen. So advanced, it wouldn't be matched again for over 1,000 years. At the center sat one small silver coin, the denarius. Think of it as the dollar of the ancient world. A soldier in Britain, a merchant in Egypt, a farmer in Spain, all trusted the same coin. That shared trust, stamped into silver, held together a territory of over 60 million people. Rome built real financial machinery on top of it. Banks that took deposits and made loans, credit, contracts, and interest. Merchants shipped goods thousands of miles, all settled in Roman coin. Every emperor stamped his face onto that coin, a tiny billboard carrying his image to the furthest corner of the empire. For a while, this made Rome unimaginably rich, but the whole system rested on one fragile promise, that the coin in your hand was worth what Rome said it was. Break that promise, and everything crashes down. And that's exactly what Rome did. It started small. An emperor needed money for wars, for grand building projects, for bribes to keep the army loyal. But taxes were unpopular and hard to collect, so emperors found a quieter trick. They took the silver coins, melted them down, and mixed in cheaper metal like copper. Then they minted more coins from the same silver. More coins, same amount of silver. On paper, the emperor was suddenly richer. He could pay his soldiers and fund his projects. But the secret couldn't stay secret forever. Under Augustus, the denarius was nearly pure silver. Within about 150 years, it had lost most of its silver content. By the crisis of the 3rd century, some coins were barely 5% silver, just copper with a thin silver wash that rubbed off in your hand. And here's where it connects to today. Rome couldn't print paper money like we do, but debasing the coinage did the exact same thing. It put more money into the economy without creating any more real wealth. The mechanism was different. The result was identical, because when there's more money chasing the same goods, prices rise. This is inflation, and it hit Rome like a hammer. As people realized their coins were worth less, they demanded more of them for the same bread, the same wine, the same cloth. Prices spiraled. Some estimates suggest prices rose by over 1,000% during the 3rd century. People stopped trusting the coins entirely. Merchants started refusing them or demanding payment in actual goods. The sophisticated money economy that made Rome great began sliding backwards toward barter. In 301 AD, the Emperor Diocletian tried to fix it by force. He issued the Edict on Maximum Prices, a law setting a cap on the price of thousands of goods, with the death penalty for anyone charging more. It was one of history's first great price control experiments, and it failed completely. Merchants simply stopped selling, rather than sell at a loss. Goods vanished from the markets. The black market exploded. You cannot fix the value of money by decree, a lesson governments would relearn again and again over the next 17 centuries. And this is where the money crisis became an empire crisis. Broken money broke everything it touched. The army was paid in coins that were nearly worthless, so soldiers grew restless and disloyal, backing whoever promised real payment. Tax revenue collapsed because taxes were paid in the same failing currency. To survive, the state started demanding taxes in goods and labor instead of coin, tying farmers to their land and merchants to their trades, an early step toward the rigid world of medieval serfdom. Trade across the empire shrank as the shared trust in Roman coin dissolved. The connective tissue that held 60 million people together was rotting from the inside. The barbarians usually get the blame for Rome's fall, but by the time they broke through the borders, the empire had already hollowed itself out from within. Its money was broken, its trust was gone, its economy was collapsing. The invasions didn't cause the fall, they just pushed over something already crumbling. So what does a 2,000-year-old dead currency have to do with you? More than you'd think. Every modern government faces the same temptation Rome did, spending more than it collects and quietly creating new money to cover the gap. We don't shave silver off coins anymore. We do it digitally, with central banks and printing presses. The tools changed. The temptation didn't. Since 1913, the US dollar has lost over 95% of its purchasing power. The coin in Rome's soldier's hand and the note in your wallet are part of the same long story. The endless tension between what money is supposed to be and what those in power need it to be. Rome isn't a warning that collapse is coming tomorrow. It's a reminder that no money is guaranteed, no empire is permanent, and the slow erosion of a currency is one of the quietest, most powerful forces in history. The Romans didn't see it happening until it was too late. The real question is, are we any better at seeing it? If this made you think, subscribe to Brain Snack for more. History doesn't repeat, but when it comes to money, it definitely rhymes.